Trying to just get everything situated. I'll just start the video. I'm trying to share it out real quick. All right, here we go. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Shalom, Yahanna, to all the brothers. Shalom, Shalom, Yahanna, to all the sisters. Today, our topic is going to be on brotherhood and how it's important to have brotherhood, to love your brothers and be with your brothers. So we're going to go ahead and get this started. We're going to start off with Matthew 6 and 24. You can pull that for me, Dante?
Matthew chapter 6, verse 24. No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to one and despise the other. He cannot serve God and mammon.
Right, man. No man can have two masters, you understand? So, and mammon is money. Y'all about me out, y'all pocket just chimed in? All right, no sweat. Just place the phone on mute. Everything to why? Hold on. Everything to why? What you, Brother Thomas, young man?
Everything good.
All right, no sweat. Yeah, no sweat, man. Just place the phone on mute. You got any questions or comments, just take it off, and you know me and chime in. We'll go ahead and get you in here. All right, but no sweat. But we had Matthew 6 and 24. You can read that for me again, Brother Dante.
Matthew chapter 6, verse 24. No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to one and despise the other.
Let's stop right there.
Not serve God.
All right, no man can serve two masters, for either he will hate one and love the other. You understand? Or else he will hold to one and despise the other. Meaning you can't think that you're going to be for this nation, you're going to come to this truth, and you're going to be for this nation, but yet you got a greater love for money. You understand? Like you want to serve money. That's what it talks about when it says mammon. You understand? You want to serve the white man, or you want to love the white man. You understand? I'm going to try to bring this to our brotherhood first, but, you know, you will always hear on Tuesday classes about, you know what I mean, our brotherhood, our nation, and our enemies, because you need to understand who your enemies is so you can serve your people. But you can't have two masters, you understand? Because say if you serve money, right, but you want to come into the truth, but, you know what I mean, you do everything for the love of money, or even not even money, just your lust. You know what I mean? Whatever you lust after, whatever you're having a problem with dealing with, you want to do whatever you want to do. How would you be able to serve your people? There's going to come a time to where, you know what I mean, you might have to make a decision between, you know, smoking weed or giving your brother the money instead of buying the weed. You understand? Because your brother's in need. But you understand, you want to serve mammon, you want to serve your own needs. So you say, well, that ain't my problem. You know, I make money, you go make money. You understand? Like, that's what it's saying right here. You can't serve two masters. You understand? You can't love the white man, but then think you're going to love your people. Because the white man hates your people. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying you got to hate the white man, but you got to have a love for your people. You got to be wanting to serve your people over your lust, over what you want to do. And it takes strong brotherhood to be able to want to serve your people over other nations or over other things that you would want to do in your life. You understand? Like, we have high-ranking officers that sometimes they like where they stay, but they're required to move to raise up people in a different state that we're not in yet. You understand? And they make that decision to move because they love their people more than what they got going for themselves. You understand? That's how Christ was. That's how Christ was when he lived in the life. If you look at the Christ life, he was poor. He was a poor man. You understand? Like, people had to accept him in and take care of him because he didn't have a place. He was a poor man. He didn't mind it because he knew that he had a greater cause, which was to serve his people, which was to help his people. So read that from the top again. I just want to start off with this one because this is a heavy verse right here. You understand? It shows you that you can't serve two masters. You're going to hate one and love the other, or despise one and, you know what I mean, despise one and hold to the other. You understand? Like, it's impossible to sit here and think that you're going to serve two people. It's going to come a time where you're going to have to decide which one you're really down for. And the one that you're down for, you're going to love that one, and the one that you're not down for, you're going to say, you know what, the hell with that. You understand? Keep over. Read that verse from the top again.
Matthew chapter 6, verse 24. No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to one and despise the other. He cannot serve God and mammon.
Right, you understand? You can't serve God and you can't serve money, man. You can't be lustful out here doing what you want to do. And most of the time, this is to tell you, you can't serve the white man. You understand? I'm not saying you can't, have a job. You can have a job, you understand? How you going to support yourself? But you don't want to be doing everything that you can do for the white man, but then when it comes to your brother, you half-assing your brother. It's a lot of people from my language, but you half-assing your brother. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You're not lending a hand to your brother, but yet you'll be able to, do whatever you can for the white man. You understand? He tell you to do something that's not required in your job description, but you say, I don't care. I'm gonna do it anyway because I'm gonna be the best servant I can be. But yet you don't want to serve your brothers. Shalom, Lord Christ. Who just chimed in? All right, no sweat. I got Shalom Yabashim Yashab Bakata Padar, but no sweat. I got Brother Dante reading for me right now. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to give, other people some experience so they can, be able to read when they come in to be a trooper. So I'm gonna have him read for me today, if if you don't mind. All right, no problem. Solid. All right, we're going to go to the Apocrypha, pull out the Apocrypha. We're going to go to Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12, verse 10. We're going to start at 12, verse 10 in the Apocrypha. So you understand, you can't serve two masters, you understand? One is going to be, you're going to either hate one and love the other, or despise one and hold to one. You understand? It's impossible to be able to think that you're going to be able to double dip. That's what they call it, double dip. You know what I mean? Sometimes I'm going to follow this, but then other times I'm going to eat shrimp, lobster, and crab. Sometimes I'm going to follow this, but sometimes I'm going to just, do whatever I got to do to get money. I'm going to sell some drugs to get some money. And you think that because you're getting the money for your family, it's a good thing. You understand? You're thinking, okay, well, I'm doing it for my family. I ain't really doing it because I want to. It's just what I got to do. You understand? That would be you serving mammon, man. That means you serving your lust. Because there's other ways to do it. Especially if you're in the I.S.U.P.K, we will always help out our people, man. You understand? So give me Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 10.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is wicked.
Right, stop right there. It says, never trust your enemies, for like as iron rust. So when you get iron, you know it's going to come a time point to where it's going to get old and it's going to rust. It's man, like you're not going to find no type of iron that's not going to rust. So is your enemy's wickedness. I mean, you thinking that you can find, somebody, because you can read this, you can paraphrase this, or you can pair this up and precept this with, to show you who your enemies is, to get a better description of who your enemies is. You can precept this with Deuteronomy 28 and 68, where it says we're going to be sold into our enemies. You understand? So you know who he was sold to. You understand? So have that in mind. You can't sit here and think that you're gonna come together with your enemies and one day they just gonna kumbaya and be easy on you. They're gonna start loving you. It says never. It don't say maybe in a few while. Give it 400 years. You understand? It says never trust your enemies. For like as iron rust, if you buy some iron or where you have some of this iron, it's gonna come a time point where it's gonna rust. You know what I mean? It's not gonna just never rust. It's gonna rust. So is the enemy's wickedness towards you. You understand? They might talk good. It's going to actually talk about that. Go to the next verse. All right, stop right there. It says, though he humble himself and go crouching. What is it? Anybody want to take a guess of what it means to go crouching? What does it mean where he goes crouching? Go ahead. Yeah, but try to be in more detail. That's right. You know what I mean? Because that's a way that you can call it. You know what I mean? Going sneaky will be another way for going crouching. But what is he being sneaky about? Like, how is he being sneaky? Like, what is, you know what I mean? Like, okay, say if this said, though he goes sneaking, then what I would say, anybody knows what it means to go sneaking? Like, give me an example of him, how he be sneaky. Go ahead. That mean, that's not what it's trying to understand, make you understand right here. Not quite. Does anybody want to take another shot of what it means to go crouching? Just think about, it's like you said, it's sneaking. You know what I mean? Yeah, he is looking to hunt you. You know what I mean? He don't got your best interest at heart. But what does it mean when he goes crouching? Like, give me an example in today's society of how you'll be like, okay, that's going crouching, like him being sneaky. The sister was for. Go ahead, sister. I mean, that's another word for sneaking. But I want like an example. Like, you're right. But how would he deceive you? Like, in what way? What did he do to deceive? Give me an example of something he did to us to deceive us. Go ahead. Right, exactly. You understand? Like, he will come up with a plan and be like, oh man, you know what I mean? We're gonna make these treaties with y'all, and we're gonna treat each other fair on this land. You know what I mean? You just share the land with us, we're gonna cover the treaties. But then he's sneaky because he didn't keep none of them. You understand? Or slavery is over with. You know what I mean? We're gonna do the 15th commandment or whatever it is. We're gonna abolish slavery. But right after slavery, not even a year later, he came out with the black code. If anybody know what the black code is, it's code that he set up to where pretty much he made you a slave again. You understand? You can look it up. It's a whole class that you could do on that. But you can look up the black code. And not even a year after he abolished slavery, he came up with the black code to make us think that we're free. You understand? That's what it means by he go crafty. He's gonna come to you with his hand open, like you said, deceiving you, being sneaky. You know what I mean? Ready to hunt you. But he's gonna come to you like it's like a precept would be Psalms 58:3, I believe, or 58:3, I believe. It might be 55:20. I'm not sure. But it's the one where it says his words are smooth like butter, but war was in his heart. You understand? He's going to come to you smooth and, you know what I mean, trying to talk to you as everything is all good. You know, somebody says Salaki? No sweat, solid. But he's going to come to you like, you know what I mean, everything is all cool, but in the midst of it, he's trying to plot a way to still destroy you. You know what I mean? That's what it means by him going crouching. But continue from there, young man Dante. All right, stop right there. It says, Right, it says, yet take good heed and beware of him. So he's gonna, come up with a plan. He's gonna say, oh, everything is good, man. We're gonna give y'all, 40 acres and a mule. We never got 40 acres and a mule. So that's why you gotta be beware of him. You understand? You can't serve him. You can't be, everybody want to be joined to the enemy, but the enemy is going crouching on you. And it says right here to beware of your enemies, man. That's why you need to show brotherhood. Only way we gonna be able to get out of this condition is we love ourselves and not our enemies. But it say, beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as thou hast wiped a looking glass. Anybody want to try to explain what that means? You shall be unto him as you wiped a looking glass. It's real simple too. This one is not. This is not no trick question. It's not no hard. Think about it. Like think about it. This verse literally. You shall be unto him as you wipe the looking glass. Shalom, y'all. Shalom, to Kevin Rowland. I see you on YouTube chiming in. Shalom, Lorna Christ. Who just chimed in? All right, no sweat. Keep you doing all right? You doing Tawab? All right, no sweat. Just place your phone on mute. You got any? Yeah, no sweat. If you got any questions or comments, just take it off mute and say, Salaki, we go ahead and get you in here. Right now, we at Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, and we on verse 11 right now. So in your practice, Ecclesiastes 12 and verse 11. But anybody want to try to take a shot at what it means to thou shalt be unto him as if you have wiped a looking glass? Nobody want to take a shot? It's all right. I mean, like I said, it's right here. You got to think of it literal. Don't try to think of like a metaphor in this standpoint. Just really look at this one as literal. You understand? Like, look at it. I see if I start explaining, I'm going to give it away. Go ahead.
It's been saying that, you have a clear view on what he's trying to do. He won't be able to deceive you.
Right, exactly. So you're right, but look at the context of this and try to explain it like you're right. That is it. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly right. That's exactly correct. You're gonna have a clear view. But why did you need to wipe the glass? I know when y'all wake up in them. Oh, go ahead. Mm-hmm. Right.
Now we see and understand the plot and the trap you're making. He's setting up against us.
Exactly. That's exactly correct. You know what I mean? You gotta, like, you know what I'm saying? When you look at this verse, you gotta look at it just like how he explained it. It's like you can now see it for what it is. But think about you wake up in the morning, you got toothpaste all on your glass, on your mirror, in your bathroom. You know what I mean? You maybe just came out the shower and your mirror's all fogged up. It's smeared. You know what I mean? You can't see yourself right. You can't see yourself clearly because it's smeared or it got dirt on it. So it's like you done spray some Kleenex. You know what I mean? Spray some Windex on your window and you wiped your glass and now it's clear. That's what it's talking about. Because, like I said, when he was deceiving us, it's smeared. We don't understand. We don't realize that this is our enemy. But once you start to wipe that glass, you come into the truth, you start to wipe the glass down, spray it with the Windex. Now you can clearly see the glass, right? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's what it's talking about in this verse, man. But keep going.
He humble himself and go approach it, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his works have not been altogether wiped away.
Right. You shall know once you wipe the glass, you start to see for him what he was, you start to realize that his rusts have not been altogether wiped away. Meaning that he still got that rust on him. Now, why did it say that it still got that rust on him? Because just like it said in the chapter before, in the verse before, yes, that as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. So that's letting you know that he's still wicked, man. You know what I mean? He made slavery free. He made us free from slavery, but that doesn't mean he's not wicked because he still devised plans to make us to a modern day slave. You understand? He's not free from his wickedness. That's what it's saying. You understand? Give me verse 12.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 12. Set him not by thee, but when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place.
Yeah, no, stop right there. Yeah, no, stop right there. That was a good spot to stop. It says, set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Meaning, don't try to think that you can join hands with your enemies, man. Even if you on top, even if you are the ones that's ruling, you still can't join hands with him now. You understand? And that's what they know. That's why the enemies don't join hands with us, because they know that the minute that they join hands with us and they set them upon us, they're going to get overthrown and then we're going to take their spots. You understand? That's natural warfare. Because just know that once your enemy, you got an enemy. What they say, keep your enemies, your friends close, but your enemies closer. No, man. Don't keep your enemies close to you. Because if you keep your enemies close to you, they're going to find a way to plot on you. They're going to find a way to overthrow you, and then they will stand in your place, man. You understand? And this goes for people who want to join your enemies. You joining your enemies, and they might, okay, say if you on top, or you know what I mean, you got money, they waiting for your downfall so they can take your place, man. Read that from the top again.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 12. Set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place.
Keep going.
Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at thy last remember my words, and be pricked therewith.
Right, man. Don't be joined into your enemies. Even if you in power, don't be joined, because he's gonna look to take your seat. That's, you understand, the things that we go through. We don't, you know what I mean? We loving people, man. We naturally caring. So, you know what I mean? We tend to not be violent unless it's with us. You know what I mean? That was the bamboozle trick that we got. But, you know what I mean? Unless it's with us, we tend to be loving people, man. We tend to be caring people. When it comes to these other nations, if they do the things that they do to us, to these other nations, they will riot. They will overthrow the government, and that's what it's telling you right here. Like, and once we get in the relationship, we're not going to have them set up with us, because if they set up with us, then they're going to look to take our seat. They're going to look to usurp your authority, man. You understand? They're not going to be willing to. They might seem like they're down with you, but they're going to wait for a time when you're at your weakest moment, and then they're going to look to attack you. You understand? And take your spot. You understand? Keep going. Read verse 13.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12, chapter 12, verse 13. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as has come nigh with,
No, that's it. Just, you know what I mean? That's what it says. Yeah, right. Right. You understand? Just like it's saying like this, it's giving you a metaphor right here of why you shouldn't take your enemy and let him be on the right hand of you, or be hand in hand with your enemy. Because once he attack you, who gon' care? You understand? We told you not to do it. You done did it yourself. You done did it anyway. This goes for your Bill Cosby's, man. You understand? Wanting to be joined with him, your Malcolm X, man. Not Malcolm X, your Martin Luther King. You understand? He wanted to be with the enemy, right? He thought that everything was great with the enemy. So when you get shot by your enemy, who gonna care, man? It's just like a snake charmer. A snake charmer does what? He charms snakes. He messes with snakes. He got snakes in his hand. He messing with snakes. So when he get bit, who gonna care? That's your fault for messing with snakes in the first place, man. You understand? What? Go ahead. Right, exactly. You got somebody playing with fire, right? They think that they are pyro. And all of a sudden, boom. You know what I mean? You got burnt. Who gonna care, bud? You shouldn't have been playing with fire in the first place. You understand? Or if that's like somebody coming to a night beach. I know y'all seen stories where you got a white man jumping into a lion's den in a zoo or something, thinking that he about to just chill with the lion, or, you know what I mean? He just crazy. He jumped into a zoo with a lion. And then he started to get ate by the lion. Well, what you thought was gonna happen, man? Like nobody's not gonna feel bad for you. Like you know, I mean, you know how the zookeepers do. They like to blame the lion. They'll kill the lion, but why you gonna kill the lion when the dude clearly trespassed against the zoo rules and decided to jump in with the wild beast? You decided to go ahead and let me get a close up picture. Let me take a selfie and pet a lion. You understand? Nobody's not gonna feel bad for you, man, because that lion did what its nature was to do. The snake bit you because that's what snakes do. They bite. Newsflash, snakes bite. You understand? And that's what it's talking about with being joined with your enemy. You sitting here being joined with your enemy, well, when he plots on you and take you down and take your spot, well, we told you not to do it. You understand? You thinking that you going to come along and you got this new philosophy that everybody can be joined together. Well, newsflash, if everybody can be joined together, we would already have been joined together. You understand? You thinking about, okay, well, we give it a couple of more years. Why we got to give it a couple more years? This was supposed to be happening. Why didn't it already happen? You understand? Like, they abolished slavery. Why didn't we become equal? Because we was never supposed to be equal with them, man. You understand? Look up the black code, like I said. You understand? Y'all about Shem Y'all Shah Brotherhood just chimed in. All right, no sweat. Just play the phone. Are you doing Tawab, Brother tomorrow, young man? You doing Tawab? You doing good?
Oh, yeah, man. Good. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Most High in Christ. Just put the phone on mute. If you got any questions or comments, take it off this lock here. We get you in here. But right now we're going. Yeah, no sweat. Right now we're going to jump to Psalms 133 and 1 now. We just show how you shouldn't set your enemy next to you. You shouldn't be trying to be joined with them, trying to be, you know what I mean, happy. Like I said, you can do business with them because we under their kingdom. So, you know, we got to do business with them. We got to be able to make money to provide for our family, to pay our tithes, to support the truth. So it's not saying that you can't do business with them, but don't be trying to be buddy-buddy with your enemy. Don't think that, you know, you and your buddy, you and your enemy, y'all about to have some, you and your supervisor, you know what I mean, if they're the same nation, then they're the same nation, but they not. Don't think that you and your supervisor gonna be buddy-buddy and y'all about to get along and they about to just be looking out for you. You understand? They not. They only using you because you're useful. But the minute you become unuseful, they don't give a damn about you. You understand? They'll throw you under the bus if it means saving their ass. Salakia. Give me Psalms chapter 133 and 1. Right. How important it is for brother and pleasant for brothers to dwell together in unity. Your brother would be the same Black, Hispanic, and Native American just like you. You understand? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans dwelling in unity is nothing more pleasant than that. It don't say dwell with your enemy, dwell with those who hate you, try to come together with those who put you in a condition that you in. It says to dwell with your brothers, man. You understand? A lot of the famous people, what do? They'll give money and they'll move to the white hood. You understand? And the reason why they do that is because they don't want to live with niggas no more. You know what I mean? They want to live with the white people. You understand? And it's telling you right there, like, okay, maybe you got money, or maybe, you know what I mean, some brothers don't know the truth, and they looking at you like, you know what I mean, they want to rob you and stuff like that. I understand that. That does happen. I'm not going to act like that don't happen. But at the same time, you shouldn't be looking at white people like they something greater. Like you about to just live better being with them. You understand? Because they going to go about it in a sneaky way. They going to go about it and trying to always calling the cops on you, trying to get you out. They don't want you there either. You understand? So it's just like, that's what it says. It's great to dwell with your people. It's great to dwell with Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. If you personally ask me, I would live in the hood before I live in the white area. You know what I mean? Like, if I do, it's because of certain circumstances, but I would rather live around brothers. You understand? Right? Because the white man, who knows what he's capable of doing? I'm not trying to get too much in him. I'm just trying to keep it on brotherhood. But who knows what he's capable of doing? Let's just be honest. You know what I mean? He shoots up schools. You know what I mean? He get mad. He lose. Somebody said something? That's right. You understand, man? That's exactly correct. But like I said, you know what I mean? He gets mad. I don't know if y'all heard about it, but the Jacksonville shooting And the dude lost the Madden tournament. He went to go shoot up the whole Madden tournament in Jacksonville last year. That's what the white man do, man. He gets mad that he don't get his way. He throws a fit. They just had what, the Muslim mosque? 50 people died in the Muslim mosque because of some white dude. You understand? Like, that's what white people do. They get mad and they shoot stuff up, man. They don't play. Why would I want to dwell with somebody who, you know what I mean, they looking for mail on Tuesday, but it didn't get delivered to Thursday. Now they got mad as hell and they want to, you know what I mean, they ready to just kill something. Just, you know what I mean, go out and run over a dead animal for on purpose. You know what I mean? Like, I'm good on that, man. You know what I'm saying? At least I know when black people do it, it's not right. It's not at all. But when black Hispanics and Native Americans doing it, it's because they have nothing. It's because they're trying to just find a way to live. Now, like I said, it's not right. But at least, you know what I mean, it's a type of, you know what I mean, sense behind it. Whereas they just doing it just to do it. You know what I mean? But it says, how great it is to dwell with your brother, man. It's important to be with your people. It's important to prefer your people over another, which is going to get me into my next verse. Give me Romans 12 and 10. Romans 12 and 10. It gets to my next verse of how you should always prefer your brother. And now this verse right here is talking about your brothers in the truth. You should always prefer your brothers in the truth over people in the world. When it comes to people in the world, you don't know what they're capable of doing. You just don't. You don't know what they're capable of doing. You know what I mean? You might have some type of trust with them. You might have grown up to them. They might have some type of standards. But it's always probably, most likely, it's going to always, 9 times out of 10, it's going to always be a point to where that standards is thrown out the window. But when it comes to your brothers in the truth and I.S.U.P.K, your brothers and your sisters, because when I say brotherhood, it also means sisterhood. So, you know, if you're a sister, you just hear me say brother, you're like, we're the sisters. The sisters is included in brotherhood. You understand? Shalom, Lord Christ, who just chimed in? Khan on Khan, how you doing, Adawan? Khan on Khan. I got a young man Dante reading right now.
What did he pull? What was the last scripture he pulled?
It was I pulled them. The last one was Psalms 133, which would be pleasant to dwell with your brother. But then I went to Romans 12 and 10.
Okay, that's cool. Brother Dante, if you could, give me Psalms 10 and 8 real fast. You can hold that because I ain't want to cut the brother off on the circle. I ain't want to cut you off. I want to make something very clear here as to who this enemy is. And I wanted to chime in really fast and then chime off so that way y'all understand who it is. When we talk about the enemy, we're talking about the white man.
Right.
And the reason why we do this is because he is our enemy. Here's the proof of that, and a few proofs to that. The white man is the only man that we defend when we're talking about an enemy. Like when we go out on the corners on Saturday and we teach our people who the enemy is, the only idiot that comes up there to defend a white person is a black person. No Africans show up. You never hear a Chinese man defend them. You don't hear nobody else defending the white man except for the only people that the white man has oppressed. We talk about Chinese people, Russians, anybody who ain't up to 12 tribes, right? But the only people on the planet that defend white people are us. We talk about the white man being the devil. Here comes a nigga. Oh, hey man, you gotta love everybody. You know, he always tells us to love them. Meanwhile, when there's a clan rally in Newman, he's not out there telling them to love us.
Right.
You'll never see a Christian out there protesting against him and what their beliefs are. Because if they did, then why the hell would the class would exist right now? You understand? It's called Stockholm syndrome. When you have fallen in love with the oppressor, the person who kidnaps you, you fell in love with him. He has to be the enemy. If anybody could show me or prove to all of us where he has not been the enemy, we would stop teaching. But you can't because that's all he has done. Even his seed is doing it. How are they doing it? They benefit off of the pleasures that the oppressor gives to them. They're the descendants of the slave master, so they reap all of the benefits. While we reap all of the scars and the mental anguish from our ancestors. Somebody is winning and somebody is losing. And what the brother was bringing out was so heavy because why the hell would we want to join them? It's equivalent to seeing a slave right now in the movie who is joining with the slave master. When you look at the Django Unchained and you see the slave master joining with the slave, right? The slave master ain't really joining with the slave. It's the other way around. The slave has to appease the slave master. They're not one, they're not the same, they're not equal in the eyes of the slave master. But that slave is like, yes, sir, boss, he gives me good food, and he gives me all the big intestines, and I like to eat. The slave thinks he's equal. Because he thinks he's joined to him, but he's not. He's still a slave. He's still a servant. Jonathan, you got Psalm 10 and 8? Alright, so this scripture here, this is in Psalms. Alright? And you talking about fast forward to now. Who the hell else does this? As a matter of fact, start at 7. This is Psalms chapter 10, verse 7. Read what you got out.
Psalm chapter 10, verse 7. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and bandit.
Stop right there. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit. Right? And fraud. Who the hell else is that talking about, man? And he sits on like, hey, brother, you ever dated? His mouth is not full of the most deceitful thing, like the most deceitful thing that a black man can tell you is that, hey, you're not bad. You cool. That's the most deceitful thing a brother could possibly tell you. Like, you know, something that something to protect you. You understand? And full of fraud, there's not a black man on this planet that can get away with fraud. Really? Speaking it, how can a black man get away with it when he's been put in jail for tax evasion? You understand? A black man's not capable of doing half of this stuff that this scripture is talking about. But there is one man that is. There's a white man somewhere right now, cursing up a storm, and not talking about, yeah, mother ever, damning you. You understand? Putting you under something. Cursing you. Putting a plague upon you so bad that it's hard for you to come out of it. That's what a curse is. And there's a white man doing that to you and our children. Telling your daughter that their hair is not good enough. Telling you that you're better than your man. Telling the man he ain't nothing unless he got you. And that's also deceit and that's also fraud because that sounds like a scam. And there's only one man on the planet that can pull off a great scam like that for all of these years. Keep going, brother.
Psalm chapter 10, verse 8. He sitteth in the lonely places of the village.
He said where? He said where?
He sitteth in the lonely places of the villages. And the secret places shall he murder the innocent.
Stop right there. You ever seen the cop? Think about verse 7, and now take it to verse 8. Alright? Think about that policeman when you're driving home that's sitting in the parking lot of the Walgreens and CVS with his light cut off. Right? No sirens, no nothing. That's what's sitting in the village look like. He's lurking in those places. The police, that white man, he's sick in your neighborhood. How the hell do you think they're able to justify it? They sit in those little lurking places in the village, right? And then what they do is, on top of that, in secret places, do they murder the innocent. Now, name a black man that does that. You think a black man is not even that cunning enough to think of a scheme like this. To sit in a lurking place and murder the innocent. Thinking you're Trayvon Martin, walking home innocent. He had to
make us think that he's not our enemy. And he's killing us right in front of us. And then when we go by I.S.U.P.K goes on Saturday, here comes Sam Jimbo. So like, what is Shauna? Okay, so what's going on, sis? Gotcha. Don't put your phones on me, right? There's also in the comment. I'm just here to assist to add on to what Brother Ricardo was talking about. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to clap back over. I just had to make a clear point. Who the hell else can do this? Sit in those little working places. And when we go on Saturday and we talk about this bastard and this devil, here comes Jimbo. Oh, you got to love everybody. You got to love them. You got to love them. He sounds like Samuel L. Jackson in the Django, doesn't he? Tap dancing and blowing this white man to smithereens. I love Master, and he's trying to get us to join him too. But as I.S.U.P.K and the Commander of Yahanna, we ain't about that lifestyle at all. If you want to join us, white people, you want to be friends and party with them, this ain't the place for you. Because we know who our enemy is. Keep going, Brother Thomas. Chapter 10, verse 8. The spirits in the mercy places of the villages and the secret places does he murder innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor. His eyes are privily set against the poor. That means his eyes are locked in. They are only seeking the poor. Now, last time I checked, weren't we the damn poor?
Right.
Now, I know somebody may say, oh, what about white people are poor? A white homeless man is still better off than you.
Right.
The sin that he's in allows him to win all the time. You don't believe that? When's the last time you gave a black homeless man something? And when's the last time you turned a white homeless man down? You don't, because you have to feel sorry for the white dude that's homeless. Oh, man, look at him. He needs help. The black man who's homeless, you go, oh, man, he needs to get a job. He needs to get a job, and the white man is just, okay, no problem. That's what our enemy is, people. It ain't the brothers and sisters on this line. Ladies, it ain't your ex. It ain't your child father. Brothers, it ain't just your baby mother either. As much as we love to take it there, we would love to, I know. But she ain't your enemy either. And the only reason why these people in the world are so against us, these people that we call family and brothers are against us, because our real enemy set it up that way. He set it up for us to be against each other. You don't believe that? That's the way mentality 101, ain't it? Light skin versus dark skin, male versus female, female versus male, children against the parents. That's slave mentality 101, man. Get it through your mind that this is our enemy. You go to work, say what's up, keep moving. They want to go out for drinks, let them go out for drinks, and hopefully the car will tip over. We have no dealings with them, man. What's that scripture, Ricardo? Ecclesiastes, I think it's Ecclesiastes, I believe, 3 and 15 through 17, what dealings of the wolf have with the lamb? We don't have no dealings with them, man. One is a prey and one is a predator.
Right.
You'll never see a wolf and a lamb hanging out because they understand that they shouldn't be together. So y'all keep that in mind as well. You ain't got no dealings with them. They can't even make macaroni and cheese. That's so nice that you know off the rip. And we ain't got no dealings with them, man. They ain't even the same type of flavor as us, man. They in the world all by themselves. Solid. That's solid means that everybody understands. Whatever, Carl, do you think, man? But I love it, brother. And you're doing a great job. So I said the meal was really good.
Tawada, Most High in Christ, Adawan, Tawada. That's what Tawada. You know what I'm saying? Just like Adawan said, just like Austin Nakash said, man, is that we have no idea, no dealings with the white man. Is that not even just the white man, it's other nations, period, because they all are enemies. They all came together to get, you know what I mean, get their portion on us to try to, you know what I mean, benefit from us, but not give us those type of reparations, no type of nothing. You understand? They all are enemies, but it's specifically the white man because you know the white man is the one that does everything to us direct. You understand? We under his rulership. We in his kingdom, and then he's the ones that oppress us direct. So you understand? I know sometimes people will be like, "Well, why y'all talk about the white man so much?" Well, we talk about it so much because of the things that he done to our people. You understand? There's nobody that done as much as they done to our people than him. You understand? That's why it's so important to know who this enemy is. But more importantly, it's more to know to love your people, man. Stop loving them and love your people. Because ain't nobody going to love you. Think about yourself. Ain't nobody will really love you how you want to be loved other than somebody who went through the exact same thing that you went through. Then y'all have a basis to be able to connect, to come together, to understand each other. You understand? Ain't nobody who went through a cookie cutter life gonna be able to understand what you go through. They didn't feel sympathy for you. They just gonna be like, whatever, you should have just actually had a better education. Whatever, you should have just went to this college. Even though they pay their way to get to those colleges. A new little report came out, they pay their way to get into Harvard and these type of colleges. But then they gonna look at you as, well, you should have been smarter. You understand? And that's why you can't be with these other nations. You understand? But we have, we went, where we stopped at? Give me Romans chapter 12, verse 10. Stop right there. Be kindly and affectionate to one another with brotherly love. You understand? When it comes to your people, your blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you're supposed to be kind with each other. With brotherly love, meaning really loving them. Don't, you know what I mean, hate them. Don't, you know what I'm saying, feel no type of way against them just because, you know what I mean, they might do some things that they're not supposed to do. This is specifically talking about people in the truth, but keep going. Right, you're supposed to prefer your brother over all these other people, man. And like I said, this one is specifically talking about brothers in the truth. You understand? Yeah, you might got a friend that you grew up with, but then you came in the truth, you cleaned yourself. You're supposed to refer to people in the truth more than you prefer that brother. You know why? Because the people in the truth have a standard that they got to abide by. You understand? When it comes to people in the truth, you got means to go to counsel. Like, say if they did do you wrong. You got means to go through counsel and to get reconciliation to what happened to you rather than going in the world and trying to deal with that brother. That brother is liable to do whatever he wants to do to you if it benefits him. Now, I'm not saying that all your friends that you have that's in the world is out to get you. You know what I mean? You might got some people that's ride or die. But what you got to understand is, and I wanted to get into this, but it's so long, but even though they ride or die and they're ready to die for you, if you go to Joshua, the 7th chapter, if they sinning, they might be ride or die for you. They might go out and ride for you. But then you know what? They might cause you to die. Whereas you could have been in the truth with the Most High behind your back, and you become victorious because the Most High is with you. But now you ride it with them, and they're sinning, and the Most High is not with that. So now they cause you to die. Now, yes, they die with you. They're your homie. They're not going to leave you standing, but why die when you can live? You understand? I wanted to get into Joshua the 7th chapter because your sins can cause your brother to die. So that, you know what I mean? Like I said, you might got some friends that's out in the world that's about to die, and they won't, they're behind you. By the end of the day, they're sinning. They don't have the Most High on their side, so they can cause you to die. When you can be in the truth and you can live. You understand? But read that from the top again. Right, keep going. Right, not slothful in business, fervent in spirit. You understand? Anybody want to take a shot at what fervent means? You can look it up if you want to. You can look it up. You got your phone. Hey man, you got cell phones and technology on your hand is a great thing. You understand? Use it to your advantage. Go ahead. Exactly, intensity, enthusiasm, exactly. You understand? It's like you got to be strong in your spirit. You know what I mean? That's the short word for it. Strong in your spirit. You understand? Not slothful in business, meaning don't get an order or don't be in the truth and then you think, oh well, now I gotta come drive all this way to get to class, or I gotta drive all this way to get to camp, or I gotta catch the bus and do all this just to get here. You understand? Don't be slothful, because it's like you would drive all that way and you would do all that way to talk to a woman. You know what I mean? You got a girl that lives in, you know what I mean, 2 hours away from you. She say, you know what I mean, I'm free. You can come home. You can come holler at me. My parents ain't here. You gonna drive all the way to get there. So why wouldn't you drive all that way to get into the truth and wake your people up? You understand? Like, if you willing to go sin, you willing to drive as long as you got to go sin, then why you not willing to drive as long as you got to be in the truth? You understand? Why you really ain't willing to sacrifice stuff to be in the truth? You'll call a day off to go see some woman or go see some man, you know what I mean, that you ain't got no business doing with. You understand? But you won't call off to be in the truth. You won't, you know what I mean? You won't take that time to sacrifice what you sacrifice for sins for the truth. Don't be slothful in your business, man. And be fervent in spirit, serving the Lord. Keep going, verse 12. Right. Read that one more time for me.
Chapter 12, verse 12. Rejoicing in hope, patience in tribulation, continuing instant in prayer.
Right. Rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation, meaning you're rejoicing in hope. You have that faith, man. You have that hope. You're rejoicing in it, man. You're not, oh, well, I don't know. You understand? No, you rejoicing in this. You happy about your hope. You happy about your faith, you understand? And you patient in tribulation. Meaning when you go through problems, when you're going through tough times, when something happens to you and you don't know how to take it, you patient with it. Because if you acting hasty, you quick to do something, then you're gonna do something wrong. You understand? That'll cause you to end up leaving the truth, because you like, man, and I can't be in the truth. I'm going through problems. There ain't no way that I'm in the truth and this is the truth and I'm with God if I'm going through problems. You understand? No, you're supposed to be patient, because that could be a test. It is not to bring you down, it's to make you stronger. You understand? That's why you're patient in tribulation. Somebody says, Salaki? Go ahead. Exactly, and I'm gonna get into that a little bit of that as well. But just like he said, you understand, Christ even went to his parents and said, "I'm about my Father's business, man. I'm not. It's not what I want to do. I'm about doing what the Father tells me to do. I'm about this truth. This truth means more to me than anything. You understand? Regardless of what I'm going through. Okay, I lost my car. Okay, I lost this. I lost that. But you know what? I'm gonna still go to camp. Well, if I can, Lord willing." You understand? If I can find a way, like sometimes you can't find a way. But don't discourage yourself because you can't. But sometimes, you know what I mean, there's a way that you can find a way. And you know what? I'm going to do it. Because I'm about this business. I'm about this truth. I'm about my people. And when you show that you're about that truth like that, not only are you being brotherly, but you're showing that you love your people, man. And so you're showing that you have a strong care for your people. And you will go through the fire just to make sure your people don't go through that. I mean, just so you can bring your people in the truth. Just so you can, you know what I'm saying? And that's why you strive to be greater when you come into this truth. Because you understand, you are, you know what I mean? At this point, when you're in the truth, somebody got me on echo. I think that might be you. I don't know if you got a video playing in the background. But you know what I'm saying? When you're about this truth, when you show that strong spirit in this truth, it's needed because you can help other brothers. You know other brothers that you can help, you understand? Or even just the way you come, you might have a different way to talk to people, and they might like how you talk. So then they'll listen to you, and you can bring them into the truth. You understand? That's why you got to strive to be in this truth, you understand? Read the where we stopped at first. Read verse 13.
Romans chapter 12, verse 13. Distributing to the necessity of the saints, giving hospitality.
Right, distributing to the necessity of the saints. The saints is you in this class, man. The saints is I.S.U.P.K. We are the saints. You know what I mean? So if your brother's in need, give to your brother, man. You understand? Give to your brother. You know what I'm saying? Like if you can do it, do it. If you can't, you know what I mean? Maybe you can't. That's not a problem either. Don't feel bad because you can't. But if you can, you know what I mean? Do it. You understand? It's your brother. You understand? And you know that you'll be paid back, or if you're not going to be paid back, so you just give it to him. You understand? You know it's righteously that's been done with it. You know what I mean? He's not taking your money and going and doing what he want to do with it. He's taking it and he doing what, you know what I mean, he needed help with. He needed some help. You know what I mean? Help him. You understand? Giving to hospitality. Meaning, you know what I mean? You know what hospitality means. Meaning you caring for your brother. You know what I mean? You're doing what you can for him. You're giving him hospitality. You're showing that brotherly love. Because that's what helps build up the nation. Read the next verse.
Romans chapter 12, verse 14. Bless them which persecute you. Bless and curse not.
Oh, snap. It said, bless them which persecute you. So when you come into this truth, and this is what you won't see in other groups, man. This is what I like. Sometimes I watch other groups. Now, do I watch them to learn? Hell no. It's lucky. But I watch it for a laugh, man. I'm guilty of it. I watch them for a laugh. It's entertainment, man. It's like me watching BET, you know what I mean, ESPN. I don't watch, you know what I mean. I don't got cable, so I don't watch cable. So, you know what I mean, I'll be on YouTube. And I watch them for laughs. You know, sometimes I see when people come against them, they got the spirit to destroy them, to try to harm them. You know what I mean? They like, I hope God come down and kill you right now. They talking to a brother. You understand? Like, those people who persecute you, those people that you on the street, they like, oh, look at you, ha, ha, ha. You're not supposed to persecute them. You're not supposed to wish harm on them. You're not supposed to, you know what I mean, try to curse them and wish bad on them. Because those are still your brothers. This is where it goes to even people outside the truth. They might talk about you in a cult. They might do this and that and the third. But you're not supposed to come back and be like, oh, well, F you and da-da-da-da, and I'm in the truth, and you know what I mean? Like, all that's not called for. You know what I mean? Bless them. Because you understand the reason why they like that is because, you know what? They were bamboozled. They were tricked by the white man. They fell for the lie. You understand? They the ones that, you know what I mean, they believe in the white man. You know what's going to happen to them, just like we read in the previous verse. They're going to get bit by that snake. They the snake charmer. They're going to get bit by the snake. You understand? What's going to happen to them is going to happen to them. But you don't want no parts in that. Because all you here for is to fish for your people, to save your people, to love your people. You understand? That's not saying let somebody do something to them, to you, and you just, oh, you know what I mean? No, you can still protect yourself, defend yourself. You know what I mean? Make sure, you know what I mean, you're okay, but at the same time, you don't want to just bring that same energy that they bring to yours to them. You understand? Because then you know better than them. You understand? You know how they say it all the time, you know what I mean? Somebody do something wrong to you, don't stoop down to their level. But then you ain't no better than them. You know what I mean? There's some truth in that, man. You understand? There's some truth in that. Don't stoop down to their level. Bless them that curse you. And you don't curse not. You don't do that to you. You know what I mean? You just understand that they oppressed. And they don't know no damn better. But you do. So since you do, you act on what you know. You act on your knowledge. You understand? Keep going.
Romans chapter 12, verse 15. Rejoice with them that do rejoice, and weep with them that weep.
Right. Rejoice with them that do rejoice. You understand? A lot of times when you in the world, you'll be with your homie. Y'all be homies. I mean, y'all be doing everything together, smoking blunts, all the stuff that you shouldn't be doing, really. But you know what I mean, y'all smoke the blunts together. Y'all do this together. Y'all do that together. You understand? But then when he get a come up, that's what they call it in the world. That's what we call it in the world. When he get a come up, You know what I mean? He done came up. Maybe he won the lottery, or you know what I mean. Something good happened to him. You start to hate on him now. You start, you know what I mean? You start to build a hatred towards your brother just because he had a blessing or something good happened in his life. You're like, well, man, why don't happen to me? You know what I mean? So now you want to feel bad, or you understand? You want to try to hate your brother. No, when something good happens to your brother, rejoice. Be happy that it happened to him. Don't be mad. Don't be jealous. Don't be sad because something happened to him. Oh, why did it happen to me? No, man. Rejoice when your brother rejoices, man. If your brother's happy, you be happy for him. You understand? That's what we do in the UPK. If something good happened to the brother in the UPK, we're happy for him. Because we know the Most High, that reiterates that the Most High is with us. You understand? But, you know what I mean? When you're in the world, you don't be happy for him. You try to hate. You know what I mean? You don't like it. And then they say weep when they weep. You understand? Your brother's feeling down. Don't just be like, oh, man, you know what I mean? You're a B. You know what I mean? You're a P. You know what I'm saying? Not Slovakia, but, you know what I mean? Oh, no. Figure out what he's sad about and try to help him. You can help him. You know what I mean? Maybe somebody died in his family. You can consult him. Make him feel better. Rather than looking at him as, you know what I mean? Like, oh, look at you, man. Da, 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 da. You understand? That's what they do in the world. Keep going. Read verse. Yeah, go ahead.
Romans chapter 12, verse 16. Be of the same mind one toward another. Mind not high things, but condescend to men of low estate. Be not wise in your own conceit.
Right. That's why we in the I.S.U.P.K. If you ever watch the I.S.U.P.K. video, you'll see before the video would say, we are the I.S.U.P.K. You know what I mean? Israelite School, University of Patrick Canales, taught out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yahanna. And we are not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite group. You know why we say that? Is because we're supposed to be of one mind and one consent. You understand? And there's a precept for this will be, if you want to write this down, a precept would be Ephesians 4, verse 4. You understand? 4, verse 4 through 6. Ephesians 4, verse 4 through 6. That's a precept for this. You understand? We're supposed to be in one mind, one body, one spirit. You understand? We can't join with other Hebrew Israelite groups because they teach a different doctrine. They can join to us and they can learn our doctrine. We can sit down, we can debate doctrine. That's cool. But you know what? When we debate doctrines, the reason why they don't debate doctrines is because they know that we're the ones that's going to have the right, correct doctrine. They're going to be proven wrong. You understand? So we're not against other Hebrew Israelite groups. They can come in, you understand, but we're not with joining them and having unity camps and being kumbaya with them because they teach a different doctrine. And you can't have people in your school teaching a different thing that you're teaching. You can't have different teachers that you see in our school teaching different things, man. Because that's going to divide and confuse the people. You're supposed to be of one mind, one spirit, one body, man. You're supposed to have one consent. We all teach the same thing in I.S.U.P.K. And that's why we stress we're not affiliated with nobody else, man. You understand? Because nobody don't teach what we teach. And they're not teaching the truth. You understand? Read that for us one more time again.
Romans chapter 12, verse 16. Be of the same mind one toward another. Mind not high things, but condescend to men of low estate. Be not wise in your own conceit.
Right, man. Mind not high things. Don't think that you higher than people. Don't think that you so great. You know what I mean? Say if a new brother coming to the truth. You know what I mean? They trying to become a trooper. Don't just think that, oh man, I'm greater than you. Oh, you know what I mean? Oh, you know, some people gonna come in, they gonna have a lower state. You understand? They're gonna be so broken by this world that it's hard for them to build themselves up. But you know what? They got the motivation to try to build themselves up because they realized I.S.U.P.K was home of the truth and they came into it. You understand? They decided to do their classes because they knew I want to be a part of this organization. So you're not supposed to think, oh well, you just came out the world, though. You still smoke weed. You know what I mean? You still do this. You still sin. You're not supposed to think in your mind like that. You're supposed to help them. You're supposed to understand their lower state. And you're supposed to help them be built it up. You're not supposed to get your own thought on how you think things are supposed to be. Oh, well, you still do this. The Most High not with you. You understand? Be not wise in your own conceit. That's what happens when people leave our school. They get wise in their own conceit. They start to think that the Most High, that they came into the truth. They came into I.S.U.P.K. They learned the truth from us, and they understood the truth from us. But then they thought that the Most High just came to them in a dream or, you know what I mean, some type of vision or some type of thought that, no, you actually weren't supposed to be in this group. You're supposed to learn from this group. You know what I mean? You're supposed to learn the truth from this group. But yet, it's just something special about you. And I want you to break off and go start another group. That's being wise in your own deceit, man. You understand? How you think that you can be, and that's what happens with most of these camps. Most of these camps, their leaders was at I.S.U.P.K. and they broke off from I.S.U.P.K. to start their own group. Because they got wise in their own deceit. They thought in their mind that they was going to leave the ones that taught them the truth and that the truth was going to be more with them. No, you're just going to dilute the truth. You're going to start teaching the wrong thing. You understand? You're not going to be in that one mind, one body, one spirit now. If they understood that, they would never leave the truth. Even if you felt some type of way, you would talk to your brother. You understand? Say in the scriptures, if you have an art with a brother, go to him and him alone. But you know what they did? They was cowards. They couldn't go to a brother that they might have had an art with. So they decided to leave and start their own stuff because they was cowards, man. You understand? That's why we teach so much to be in one mind, one body, one spirit. If it's not of us, it's not the Lord, man. And if it's not of us, we're not affiliated with it. Because we don't have no cowards in our camp. That's why that's our motto, man. No cowards in our camp. You have to be courageous, man. You have a problem with a brother. I was going to bring the scripture, but I'm not. But I'm paraphrasing. You got a problem with a brother. Say what brother do you wrong. It may happen because he didn't know. You know what I mean? He might didn't know. Go to him then. You know what I mean? Talk about it. Don't just let it fester up and build up, and now you're building a hatred towards your brother, and now you're like, oh, well, that's cool, wicked. You understand? He said something to me, and I ain't liking it. Oh, I hate that brother now. You know what happened? He did offend you, but you didn't say nothing about it. So you wicked for not saying nothing. It's brotherly to tell him. You understand? That's brotherhood. Telling him what he did. Instead of just letting it fester up, and now you're building hatred, and now it drove you to leave the school, and now you're like, y'all wicked. I know how y'all do. Yeah, y'all got brothers in here that just, they don't got no, you just was a coward, man. And you had no courage to stand up and teach the brother and tell the brother what he did wrong so you can reconcile your problem with him. That's brotherhood, man. That's why we and I.S.U.P.K. perfect brotherhood, because brotherhood is the only thing, brotherhood and sisterhood is the only thing that's going to bring us together. Shalom, Lord Christ, who just chimed in? Shalom. Oh, Quinn, all right, no sweat. Put the phone on mute. I got an echo on it. Put the phone on mute, and we go ahead. You got any questions or comments? Take it off. Say Salaki, we get you in here. No. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's why we practice brotherhood in I.S.U.P.K, man. You understand? It's very important to have brotherhood. And like I said, if a sister do you wrong or brother do you wrong, go to them, man. Say something. Because 9 times out of 10, they're going to be like, you know what, I apologize. I didn't know. And then boom, case closed. It don't go no farther than that. And when you start to let it build, then you start talking crap about them. You start, you know what I mean? That's cowardly, man. That's not courageous. That's cowardly. You understand? With that, you said prefer your brother over other people, man. You understand? Rejoice when they rejoice. Prefer your brother, man. You understand? Don't prefer other nations over your people. But with that, we're gonna go to Matthew chapter 12, verse 46. We're gonna talk about Christ and how Christ was. Like, did Christ prefer his brother? We're gonna get into that. Matthew 12 and 46.
Matthew chapter 12, verse 46. While he yet talked to the people, behold, his mother and his brother stood without, desiring to speak with him.
Right, so he was talking to the people. Hold on, sorry there. He was talking to the people, and his mother and his brother, meaning his physical mother and his physical brother, you know what I mean, by birth, by blood, they decided to speak with him while he was talking. Keep going.
Matthew chapter 12, verse 47. Then one said unto him, behold, thy mother and thy brethren stand without, desiring to speak with thee.
Right, somebody came to him and said, yo, your mom and your brother want to speak to you. Keep going.
Verse 48. But he answered and said unto him that told him, Who is my mother, and who are my brothers?
I thought Christ loved everybody. Christ, I'm not saying he didn't love them, but for someone to just be like, oh, lovey-dovey, just on earth, just he wouldn't touch a butterfly. Why would he say, after somebody came to him and said, your mom or your brother want to speak to you? He said, who is my mother? Who is my brother? Now, first of all, that sounds like a nigga, Salaki. Only, you know what I mean? Only nigga be like, who is my mom? Who is my brother? Like, what the hell are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Only a nigga would do that. First and foremost, Salaki. But you know what I mean? He like, who is my mother? Who is my brother? What you mean they want to speak to me? Who is that? Keep going.
Matthew chapter 12, verse 49. And he stretched forth his hands towards his disciples and said, Behold, my mother and my brother.
He stretched towards his disciples. So pretty much he said, who is my mother and my brother? He reached out his arm behind his disciples and said, behold, my mother and my brother. Meaning, they not my mom and my brother. The one that was physically his mom and brother, he said, that ain't my mom and my brother. Who is them? These are my mom and my brother. You understand? That's why you say in I.S.U.P.K, brotherhood is key. Because we are your brothers and mothers. Now, a lot of people will look at us and they'll be like, oh, y'all in the cult. Like, you know, when you come to I.S.U.P.K, your parents or your family, they'll look at, oh, you in the cult. You try to separate. No, we don't tell you to separate away from your family. You understand? If you got a family reunion, you can go to the family reunion. You understand? You get to, not on holidays. Don't do it on holidays, of course. But you mean, y'all say y'all got a family reunion that y'all just get together, you can go. Y'all having, you know what I mean, little days that y'all just schedule. You can be with your family. You can talk to your family. Just don't allow them to let you sin. You know what I mean? Don't make them encourage you in sinning. You understand? There's nothing wrong with talking to your family, your brother. You know what I mean? We don't like this. This is like, you know, when people say you're a cult, or you don't talk to me no more. Some people just don't want to talk to you just because they don't want to deal with it. But we don't say that you can't talk to your people. You can't talk to your family. You can. But what we do say is, we are your family, though. We're the ones that's really going to look out for you. We're the ones that's really going to care for you. You understand? They say, well, blood is thicker than water. Well, I.S.U.P.K is thicker than blood, man. You understand? I.S.U.P.K is thicker than that blood. Because we have a standard that we have to hold. We follow Christ. And we will not go against Christ no matter what. You understand? You know what I'm saying? So that's what he said. That's what he was saying to them, man. Blood is thicker than water, but my brethren, people in the truth of me, or is thicker than that blood, man. You understand? These are the ones that I trust more, rather than the ones that gave birth to me, and the ones that's my brother that came from the same mother and father. You understand? That's what he was saying right here. And that shows you how much brotherhood that Christ had. You understand? That's why we in I.S.U.P.K say, you understand, we practice on brotherhood. That's one of the main things that we practice on is brotherhood. Because without it, we wouldn't be nothing. Without it, we couldn't do what we do. Without it, we couldn't be together. You understand? Without brotherhood, you will have, I don't like to talk about this, but without it, you will have women dying in these other Israelite groups, man. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You understand? The purple dudes. You will have people dying in these other groups because they don't have no brotherhood. Because they lust over money more than they lust over their brothers. They care about their brothers. You understand? That's what happens. But keep, that's it on that. Oh no, read verse 50 for me.
Matthew chapter 12, verse 50. For whosoever shall do the will of my Father which is in heaven, the same is my brother and sister and mother.
Right, whoever is going to follow this truth, be in this truth, serve the Most High, you understand? The Father that's in heaven, that same as my brother, my sister, and my mother, you understand? And that's where it tells you where, when we say brotherhood, it's sisterhood as well, man. Because the same is my family. Those are my family, the ones that serve the truth. You understand? I know me personally, I trust everybody in the truth more than I trust my own family, friends, and I tell them that. I don't care about telling them that. You know what I mean? I don't, you understand? I grew a life where I'm not really scared to tell them that, or I don't feel offensive by telling them that. I'll tell them that straight up.
Like, you know what I mean? I love you, yeah, you're my family. You know what I mean? But I love this truth more. You understand? I trust them more than I would trust you. Go ahead.
Another thing about the fake Israelite groups, you know that they don't really have brotherhood because they left their brothers and they left the truth.
Exactly, and that's why that goes into everything what I've been saying. That is exactly correct, man. You understand? The way you know that they don't have brotherhood is because they left their brothers, man. The ones that taught you the truth, that brought you into the truth, the reason why you know you a Hebrew Israelite and this Bible is for you is because of I.S.U.P.K. You know how you didn't have brotherhood? Because you decided to leave them, man. Instead of saying, you know what I mean, I feel this way or this, you decided to go leave and start your own group. And that's because you really love yourself. You really love money, man. You understand? And that's why you start to let Africans in your group. That's why you start to let white people in your group. Because you know that those are the ones that's going to give you the money. It shows that you really just after the money. But I.S.U.P.K. ain't no heathen can come up in here, man. Because we love our people that much. I don't, you know what I mean? People try to find out all these scriptures to include the other nations. Well, first of all, you don't know scripture, which shows the Most High is not with you. But second of all, we would never include no other nation in our group, in our school, man. In the Israelite school, universal practical knowledge, it say Israelite for a reason. Because if you're not Israelite, you're not in this school, man. You understand? And just like we said, that's exactly correct. It shows that they didn't have no brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? So with that, we're going to go to Luke chapter 21 and 16. Give me Luke chapter 21 and 16.
Another one, Luke chapter 21, verse 16. And you shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kinsfolk and friends, and some of you shall they cause to be put to death.
Right, man. And this is why that's why Christ said, behold, these are my brethren. Because he knew, and this is true, that you shall be betrayed by who? By who, Dante? Read that verse for me again. Yo, brother Dante, you there? Y'all man Dante? Oh yeah, no sweat, yeah. It says you shall be betrayed by who?
By parents and brethren and kinsfolk and friends.
Right, you shall be betrayed by your parents, by your brothers, by your kinsfolk. That's you know what your kin is. That's your family, your cousins, aunties, uncles. You know what I mean? Nephews, and your friends, man. That's what Christ knew. He knew that they would betray him. You understand? That's what you need to know. Like I said, it's not. We're not saying, oh, don't talk to your parents, don't talk to your this, that, and the third. No, you can. But at the same time, know that it's saying in the scriptures that they could betray you, man. They'll be quicker to betray you than a brother in this truth. You understand? Because it says it right here in Luke. And you and read that from the top again. This is such a heavy verse of why we teach brotherhood in I.S.U.P.K. and why we as a school is so close as a family more than we are with our intermediate family. You know, it's not saying you're not supposed to be with your intermediate family, you're not supposed to love your intermediate family. You can't. You understand? But this is what it says right here. Keep going. Read that. Right, exactly. Hold on, I'm reading this from Kevin on YouTube. Hold on. I'm gonna give you Kevin. I'm gonna stay in the chat. I'm gonna give you the number. I'm gonna post it in here. Actually, I'm gonna give you my phone number and just give me a call. All right, but it says right here, man. He said his parents give him hell when he hear our voice. Right, you understand? Because when they hear the truth, they not with the truth. You understand? You go to your parents, you say, you know what, I don't celebrate Christmas no more. I realize that Christmas is pagan, it's the worship of Nimrod, and I'm not with that no more. What your parents gonna do? I rose you up on Christmas. How dare you not come to Christmas party? And all the family getting together, oh, they gonna da, you know what I mean? All this nonsense, you know what I mean? They start to hate you just because you don't celebrate. You didn't say I don't love you no more, Mom. You know what I'm saying? You say, Mom, I love you more than, you know what I mean? I love you, Mom. You brought me in this world. I'll do anything for you. As long as it's not a sin, I do, but, you know what I mean? You don't celebrate the Christmas and it's the end of the world, man. You don't come to Thanksgiving dinner and the hell with you. That's how your parents think, man. I mean, Salaki, not all of them do, but you know what I mean? I'm just talking in general. You understand? Like, that's why I say that they shall betray you, because they're going to look at you as the enemy. Now, because you didn't come to little Day your nephew birthday party, man. You understand? That's what they're going to do to you, man. You understand? And that's why I say right here, they shall betray you. You know what I mean? Your own friends will be the ones that you, the one, you know what I mean? I know I came into the truth and I told people straight up, like, yeah, I've been in the truth for 6 months, more than 6 months, coming on like 7 months. Yeah, I trust everybody in the truth more than I trust my friends that I do since I was 5 years old. They were like, damn, I stick with my day ones. You stick with your day ones. You understand? Because I know the truth, man. And I know I have a standard to be held by when I'm in this truth. And that's why I would trust them more than I trust them, the other people that I knew in the world. Because other people in another, how can I expect somebody in the world to save my life if they can't even save their own? Now, what do I mean by that? They still smoke weed. You understand? They still sleep with other other brothers' women. You understand? They still try to ride out and gang bang and rob and steal, and you know what I mean? They still doing that. They still sinning, man. So if they don't care about their own down life, somebody says, "Salaki, go ahead."
I was going to say about your day one, your real day one, and to the brothers and sisters in the I.S.U.P.K of the community of Yahanna under the new man that you will come.
That's right. Exactly. Because when you come to the truth, you be reborn. So you is like a child when it comes to this truth, when you come into the truth. And those gonna be your real day ones, man. The ones that's teaching you from when you become a child again, so you can now grow up to be a teacher. Those are your real day ones. And that's what I'm trying to tell people in the world. I will ride out with them. Some of my friends get offended. I'm not gonna lie, this is just a personal talk on me. Some of my friends get offended when I tell them I don't really trust them. I tell them straight up, I mean, you're my nigga, but I really don't trust you like that. And so I help you out, but it's only a certain expectation that I expect from you, and nothing more than that. You understand? I don't really expect that much from you. And they'll feel bad, like, why would you think I'll do that instead of there? You know why? Because you still smoke weed, man. Because, you know what I'm saying? When it comes down to your problems that you deal with, you still sin. You still, you know what I mean? You don't have them in your mind to stop doing this stuff. You still love the white man. You know what I mean? You can be the most black powerless people ever. You understand? But they will still love the white man. You know why I say love the white man? They might think that they hate the white man or they don't like the white man. But you know why I know they still do? Because you still do what the white man tells you to do. The white man is the one that tells you to smoke weed. The white man is the one to tell you to hate your brother, to sleep with his woman. You understand? The white man is the one that tell you to eat pork and go against the laws of the Most High. And you do them. Meaning, you really, that's what the white man does. You understand? The white man tells you to be a homosexual, this, that, and the third. You understand? And you do it, by you doing it, it shows me that you love the white man more than you love your people. You understand? And that's why it say right here, your brother, your family, you know, your cousin, your auntie, sisters, all that, they will be the ones that betray you first. You understand? There ain't gonna be no strangers. It's gonna be the people that know where the hell you be at 24/7. Those gonna be the ones that betray you. Now I'm not saying all your family, all you know what I mean, everybody, all your friends, they gonna betray you, but it's giving you a general consensus of you can't trust them more than you trust your brothers that's in the truth. Because even when it comes to something like that, your brothers in the truth, you have a back say to go against them. You know what I mean? Like say they do you, not me not going against them, but like say they do you wrong. you can take it to them first, and if they don't hear you, you can go to the council and you can be reconciled for what they did if they don't want to acknowledge it. But when a person out in the world don't acknowledge it, you understand? Since you know you in the truth, you can't really do nothing. It's just it is what it is. But when you in the truth, you have a process that you can go about reconciling your friendship, your relationship, and your brothership. You understand? If it don't happen that far, then say, well, after council, then treat them as a heathen. They get kicked out of school. And you have that because you both under the school. You will get recompensated for whatever happened to you if something happened to you in school, because that's us being brotherly. But in the world, you don't got that. You know what I mean? You lend somebody some money, they don't pay you back. Well, guess what? They didn't pay you back, and you ain't gonna get it back. Sayonara, too bad. But in the truth, in the school, somebody do that, you will get your money back. You understand? It will be held up against us, and that's why, because we practice brotherhood. Give me Ecclesiasticus. We're gonna go back to the Apocrypha. Ecclesiasticus. Let me see. What chapter is this? Give me 1 second. I'm trying to see what chapter this is real quick. Oh yeah, give me Ecclesiastes chapter 6 verse 7. We're gonna start at 6 verse 7. Right. And if you gain a friend, prove him first. Anybody know what it means to prove your friend first and be not hasty to credit him? Go ahead. What do you mean by, like, you're right, but what do you mean by testing? Like, is it something that you doing, or is it something that, you know what I mean, is it something that you doing? Right. So, you know what I mean, when you get a friend, you not, like, this, don't look at it as, oh, you got to test them, meaning, you know what I mean, see if they do something to you. Like, you go and you got to go and do something yourself to see if they do it. No, that's not what it means. It means just wait. You know what I mean? Chill with them enough to where you'll see how they will act in a situation when it comes up. You know what I mean? That's what they're doing. You tested them by just chilling. You're not like, oh, you my homie, I'm going to do everything for you. You still got your guard up. Because it's going to come a time to where if they're not your friend, they're going to show their true colors. Like, you don't want to purposely try to set a trap for them. That's not what it's saying. Set a trap for them and see if they fall for the bait. No, just don't be like, oh yeah, you my homie, we've been on for a week, and do. No, you waiting to see if they do you wrong. You know what I mean? You're not quick to just be, oh yeah, man, this my homie, I know him, he cool, he 100. Nah, you gotta see how they are. You gotta get the feel for what type of personality that they have. That's you testing them. That's you proving them. You understand? Because people will be your friend when you up. You know what I mean? You just came up, you got money, people will be your homie. They all with you, buddy, whoop, whoop. But as soon as something happens to you, they ain't nowhere to be found. When you call, I need some help, man. I just got locked up. I need my bail, man. You know what I mean? We was on the corner. I was selling the weed that you told me to sell, but then I got locked up. Can you bail me out? They don't know you no more. You know what I'm saying? But keep going. We have verse 8.
Verse 8. Some man is a friend for his own occasion, and will not abide in the day of thy trouble.
Right. Some friends are friends with you just for their own benefits. And when you get in trouble, they're not to be found. This don't benefit me no more. I don't know you. You know what I mean? You can't call them and ask for their help no more because it don't benefit them no more. Keep going.
Hold on, jump. We're gonna hold on. We're gonna jump down to let me see. Jump down to verse. Jump down to verse 12.
Ecclesiastes chapter 6, verse 12. If thou be brought low, he will be against thee, and will hide himself from thy face.
Right. If you be brought down low, you come to a low state, he will not be your friend no more. Ain't no benefit no more. And he will hide his face. Don't that, ain't that what they do? That's why when you read this Bible, man, you really gotta look at it from a nigga thought. You understand? Now, you're gonna need understanding, but when it comes to like understanding the Bible, you really gotta look at it from ebonics, you know what I mean? Where they say slang, nigga thoughts, you know what I mean? How niggas act today. That's really how you gotta view the Bible. That'll give you a better understanding. Like it says, "Well, how does that face?" What does that mean? That nigga ain't nowhere near to be seen. You call that nigga, he don't answer your phone call. Slock you. You call your homie supposed to be down for you, supposed to ride you in trouble. You like, bruh. You know what I mean? All the time he call you, I know y'all all know this, y'all all witness this. Every time he call you, yeah, bro, I got you. Because you a real friend, right? I got you, man, no sweat. But in the minute that you call him and you down, bro, I ain't got it, man. Or he don't even answer the phone. Like, damn, but you can't help me? This one time, I don't really even normally need help. But this one time, you know what I mean? I need a little bit of help. I'll pay you back. Now, he probably don't never pay you back. But you will pay him back. But you know what he'll say? I don't got it. Or you know what he'll say? I ain't gonna answer. He just won't even answer the phone. He'll hide his face, man. You understand? He will hide his face. Keep going.
Ecclesiastes chapter 6, verse 11. But in thy prosperity, he will be as
Oh no, we at Salakia. We at verse 13.
Oh, I'm sorry. So like it, separate thyself from thy enemies and take heed of thy friends.
Right. Separate yourself from your enemies, man. You understand? Take heed to your friends. You understand? Take heed to I.S.U.P.K. We are your friends, man. So, like I said, something might happen in I.S.U.P.K. where it goes wrong. You don't like it. But you can get results. You can get reconciliation. You can talk about it. You can go to him. You can discuss it. You can work it out. You understand? There's a process to where you'll be reconciled. You can work it out. It ain't nothing too much that nobody ain't ever went through. You understand? Read verse 14. That's the last one. Yeah, read verse 14.
Ecclesiastes chapter 6, verse 14. A faithful friend is a strong defense. He that hath found such, and one hath found a treasure.
Right, you understand? And that's the reason why you prove a friend, because one that you prove and they come out and they pass the proof, they, you know what I mean? You know that they're a good friend. I.S.U.P.K. You understand? Like, that's why we have the trooper program. You come in to be a trooper, you have to rid yourself of your sins, man. You have to stop doing it. It's a 90-day trooper program, and sometimes it might take longer. Because you know what? It might take longer to rid yourself of your sins. You know what I mean? You're trying to get out the world. But that's why we do that, because once you've been proven and you become a trooper, it's something great. It's something that you can be proud of. Not only can you be proud of, but we're proud of it because we see how strong you are. And you know that no, regardless of how long it took for you to get your name, you actually defeated whatever you was going against. And you overcame it. You became a new man. You understand? You've been proven through that fire. And what does it say? Read that verse again. What does it say when someone who's been proven? 14.
Verse 14. A faithful friend is a strong defense. And he that hath found such, and one hath found a treasure.
It's like you finding gold, man. It's like you find a treasure once you've been proved. You are now gold, man. You understand? You are now something that is. Go ahead. forgot the scripture. I know what scripture you're talking about. Let me see. I'm gonna try to see if I can find it. But you're right. You understand? When it comes to that, it's I think it's Ecclesiastes 2:5. Or it might be Wisdom of Solomon. I don't know about it. Just like he said, man, it's like when you be trying, it's like you trying gold. When you try gold in the furnace of a fire, think of that literal. You understand? Like if you go out and you buy you a gold necklace, you know what I mean, or a gold watch, that gold before it became on your wrist as 18 karat, 15, whatever, you know, whatever the carat it is, it was tried. It was tested to be of a good quality. Otherwise, you wouldn't know that it was a good quality if it wasn't tried. You understand? That's why you get, that's sometimes why you get gold that'll turn your skin a different color, because it's fake. It hasn't been tried. But for that gold that's real gold, you know what I mean, nice, and it's, you know, 18 karat and above 24 karat, it was tried in the fire, man. And so is it like your friends. You know what I mean? You have to test them and try them in the fire, because once they come out, they're going to be a 24 karat. They're not the 2 karat, 3 carats. You know what I mean? 4 karat that's going to turn your skin a different color. You know what I mean? You take off your necklace and your neck is got bumps on it with, you know what I mean, green line on it. That's because that wasn't real, man. But the stuff that's real is the stuff that's going to be tried, just like he said. You understand? That's a paraphrase. That's a scripture. That's a precept for this. You understand? You have to try your friends. You know what I mean? Because once you try your friends, once you prove your friends, they will be a strong defense with you. You know what I mean? Your brother and I.S.U.P.K, once y'all come to your country, y'all are the strong defense against for this nation. You understand? Y'all are the new ones that's going to build up this nation. It's going to become an officer and build up the nation. I'm going to start sending the class over to you. You're going to be teaching the class. I'm going to be like, you know what? You know what I mean? Brother L, Brother Dante, Brother Keelan. You know what I mean? Brother Quinn. Y'all teach the class now. Y'all officer, y'all pass y'all test. Now it's up to you to raise up people, man. You to teach people and have people listen to you. You understand? That's what that's talking about right here. Now, I'm gonna pull Matthew 5:38. We about around, you know, closing time in the scriptures. We got probably a couple more scriptures left, getting close to 9. But I'm gonna pull Matthew 5:38. Matthew 5:38. Now, when it comes to brotherhood, this is a question too. When it comes to brotherhood, are you only supposed to be brothers to people in the truth, or is it something different? That's a question. Go ahead.
I would say brothers in the truth, the Israelite brothers.
So you're saying you're not supposed to have brotherhood towards people that's not in the truth?
If they Israel.
Yeah. Well, when I say brothers, it should be known that, you know what I mean, it's Israel. So, you know what I mean? You right. So you're saying if it's Israel, you know what I mean, even if they're not in the truth, you should have brotherhood? Is that what you're saying? Right, you understand? Just, you know what I mean? Now you have a different brotherhood to your brothers in the truth. Because you can expect them, you can expect them to do you right as well. But when it comes to other brothers, you know what I mean, it's not just open up your hands and, you know what I mean, you know what I mean, just because they're your brother. You're supposed to still understand some type of boundary, because, you know what I mean, you don't know them. You gotta prove them. But that doesn't mean that you still don't show brotherhood to people that's not in the truth. You still want to show your brotherhood to the people that's out there and not in the truth. And that's what we do in I.S.U.P.K, you know what I mean? Because you have some other groups that, you know what I mean? I know you've probably seen the videos of you not. If not, then it's probably a good thing. I don't know. But you got videos of other groups talking about, you know what I mean? Who gives a damn about Trayvon Martin? You know what I mean? And, you know what I mean? They just talking crazy on it, but they really hate their brothers. That's what it's a sign of. It shows that you hate your brother. Like, if you out there to fish for souls, right? You out there to save your brothers, to help your brothers, teach them the truth. How can you hate them? Because they not with you. Like, you got a hatred towards them, you just hate niggas. You understand? But how are you going to save them if you hate them? That's why you can't hate your brothers that's not in the truth. You understand? Even the ones that's not in the truth, your brothers and sisters not in the truth,
Now, you would correct them, you would tell them what they're doing wrong to try to correct them so they can learn from it. It's not like you just going, oh, you ain't doing nothing. No, you still gotta correct them, but you still show them love. You don't hate them. You know what I mean? You might hate the doctrine that they follow, but you don't hate them. Like, a lot of times, like, oh, y'all hate y'all brothers because y'all be talking crap and y'all be this, that, and third. You know, we do that because we hate the doctrine. We don't hate the brother. You understand? The brother would, you know what I mean? The brother would just be like, you don't understand the doctrine that he's following is not right. Then, you know what I mean? Maybe we wouldn't have to talk to him so harsh. But we don't talk to him harsh because we hate him. We love him. We love our people. We understand the destruction that our people has been under. You understand? We would never say something like, well, who gives a damn about Trayvon Martin? Like, it's not right that what happened to him. Yeah, he wasn't following the law. You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean that that was right. The cop is still wrong, man. George Zimmerman is still wrong for what he did. You know what I mean? That wasn't righteous. The man was walking on his own damn business. That don't mean he deserved to get killed. Like, you understand? That's what it comes with brotherhood. You understand? Other people, other camps, they don't know, brother. They really don't know brotherhood. You know what I mean? But go ahead. No sweat. Go ahead. Second, you said 2 John 10 and 8 through 11? 2
John 8, 10 through 11.
I'm going to pull that. Give me 1 second while I pull that real quick. 2 John. Give me 1 second. I'm going to pull it up. So are you saying, like, is this a precept? Yeah, you said, what was that again? You said 2 John or 1 John?
2 John 8, verse 10 and 11.
Now, when I look at 2 John, I only got 1 chapter in it. You said saint or second? Chapter 10, verse 11?
No, chapter 1, 10 and 11.
Oh, chapter 1. Oh, so 2 John 1, 10 and 11. Okay. Okay, go ahead. You got it for me? You can read that for me, Brother L?
2 John 1, 10. If there come any unto you, and bring not this doctrine, receive him not into your house, neither bid him Godspeed. 11. For he hath bidded him Godspeed, is partaker of his evil deeds.
Right, exactly. And that will be a precept to this, man. You understand? Because they don't teach this doctrine. So I don't hate the brethren, but it says right here, if they don't come to you with this doctrine that we teach in I.S.U.P.K, don't even bid them Godspeed, man. To bid them Godspeed means farewell, wish you well, God bless you. Don't even say that, bro. Send them about their way. That's what's saying in the scriptures. Send them about their way because you're teaching another doctrine. It's not, like I said, it's not that I hate you, but I know you misleading my people, man. If you like a stumbling block before the people, you understand? You are a problem. You are an obstacle. You gonna get people in your school, in your camp. That's what they call them. We a school, but they call themselves a camp. Camp is what we do on Saturdays. You understand? But we a school, but they call themselves a camp. You gonna get people in your camp, and they gonna, you know what I mean, not be with the truth. First of all, they're not gonna follow it due to you. And second of all, if they do realize that you're wrong, you know what? They're gonna have a spirit of them to not even want to follow this no more. They're gonna think that they can be by themselves. You understand? Like that goes for all the people who think that they just talk to the Most High themselves and they get a knowledge on their own. If you get a knowledge on your own, there's nobody to correct you when you go off. You understand? You can't get the knowledge on your own.
You understand? Even in it's against the Bible to try to get the knowledge. It said what? Lean not to your own understanding. We went over a verse where it said that. Do not be conceited in your own understanding. You understand? Because that's when you're going to go off. They don't show, they're not brotherly if they think of it on their own. You understand? Because if somebody don't agree with you, then it's only you. So you can't even really prove what you're saying. You know what I mean? But that is a precept for it. You understand? They're teaching a different doctrine. You understand? But give me Matthew chapter 50 of Slaki, Matthew chapter 5, verse 38.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 38. You have heard that it is said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth.
Right. In the Old Testament in Exodus, it says eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. That means if you do something, I'm going to do exactly what you did to me. You kill somebody, you're going to be killed. You understand? You take an eye out, I'm going to take your eye out. You take a tooth out, I'm going to take your tooth out. You understand? That's what we heard it was. But that's when we know that Christ came to teach the truth. He came to teach the spirit behind it. Because there's a spirit behind keeping the law. It's not just, oh, I do the law, that's the command. There's a spirit behind it. You understand? The Sadducees and the Pharisees, they knew the law. They was executing the law. But you know why they wasn't keeping it? Because they didn't know the spirit behind it. They didn't know brotherhood. But he said, you heard that it was eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Keep going.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 39. But I say unto you, that ye resist not evil, but whosoever shall smite thee on the right cheek, turn to him the other cheek also.
Right, now anybody want to take a I know you done heard this in your Christian church. You understand? It say, first of all, it would sound like a contradiction. If you really look at this from a Christian standpoint, it would sound like a contradiction. Like, even what the Christians say, it would sound like a contradiction. But it say, read that one part again. It said resist what?
But I say unto you, that ye resist not evil, but whosoever shall smite thee on the right cheek, turn to him the other also.
Right, it says, I say unto you, that ye resist not evil. What does it mean to resist not evil? Like, you would think it would just say resist evil. Why does it say resist not evil? Resist ye not evil. It didn't tell you to turn your cheek. Don't that sound like a... Go ahead. Yeah, that's right. You on it, like that's right. When I say you on it, that is right. But it says resist not evil. So what does it mean by like you said, it's not supposed to fight evil with evil. But like, you know what I mean? Look at it as the context of this. Like it says you should resist not evil. How do you like? Because like I said, you would think it say resist evil. Because then if you resist evil, then you're not doing evil. But what does it say resist? Why does it say resist not evil? Now think about it. You've heard that it was eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Now you're right. Don't fight evil with evil. But if it was saying that, like you're right, but if it was saying that, like correctly, like you know what I mean, holy, then it would be resist evil. You know what I mean? Don't do evil for evil. You resist evil. Why does it say right here, resist not evil? No sweat. Because it says eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. That's what we heard it was. So now say somebody take your eye out. To resist not evil would be to not resist your brother. Because if you resist evil, you understand, then you're going to resist your brother because what he did was evil to you. So since what your brother did was evil for you, you resist that. To resist his evil is to return him back what he did. And now you don't think that that's evil because you're just saying, oh, I'm paying him back what he did. But it says resist not evil means to not resist that brother. You know what I mean? Just because he did something to you, don't go against him. Don't, you know what I mean? Say, you know what, F you, man. You understand? Because he did some evil.
It was evil what he did. He took your eye, he took your tooth. But you're not supposed to resist him. You're supposed to see what he did. See why. That's why I say turn the other cheek. It's not like no Christian saying, okay, you hit me on this cheek. I'm supposed to forgive everybody. God is all love. Let me just let you let you hit my other cheek too. You understand? That's what the Christian think. Oh, turn the other cheek. Turn the other cheek. Oh, he did this. Oh, well, give him the other cheek to hit. You're not giving him the other cheek to hit. You resisting evil means you're not resisting your brother. And the reason why you're not resisting your brother is because that's why you're turning your cheek. Because if he hit this cheek, then we're talking about from a men's standpoint, not a Christian standpoint. You gotta get the Christian out of your mind, start thinking of a man. If he hits you in this cheek, if you got this cheek still up, you know what you're gonna do? You're gonna resist evil. You're going to be like, nah, bruh, you hit me last time. You're going to remember that he hit you. Because you're going to be like, nah, bruh, and you're going to be trying to go against him. But to not resist evil is turn the other cheek. So now it's like, you're not saying, oh, hit this cheek, I'm giving you this cheek to hit. But you're thinking first on, you know what I mean, reconciliation with that brother. You understand? Like, okay, for instance, let me give an example. A brother done stole from you, right? He done stole some money from you. Now, to not resist evil means you're willing to forgive that brother. Now, you turn the other cheek because you don't want to think of this cheek because this cheek would be like, man, F him, he stole money from me. But you turn the other cheek because you like, you know what I mean, I don't want to have that mindset of him. But does that mean that you leave money out in front of him if he stole money from you? That's the question. Like, you turn the other cheek, so you're not remembering that he stole money, but does that mean that you still leave money out for him to steal from you again? To give him the opportunity again? Say, okay, go ahead.
It means that, you know, you and two men in the world is like, you know, you just don't leave money around. You know, you ain't got to go confront no guys, just don't leave money around.
Nah, I mean, you're right, but you can confront him about it. You don't have to just not say nothing. No, you can confront him about it. But if you know that's what he do, then don't leave your money around. That's not saying turn the other cheek and give him another chance. Like, no, it's saying don't pay him back, man. Don't try to steal from him. You know what I mean? Or don't be like, oh man, F you, this, that, and the third, woo da woo da woo. You know what I mean? Just be like, you know what? He probably stole the money to you. Hold on, keep reading. Read the next verse.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 39. For I say unto you, that you resist not evil, but whatsoever shall might be on thy right cheek, turn to him the other cheek. Verse 40. And if any man will sue thee at the law and take away thy coat, let him have thy cloak also.
Right. It says if any man will sue you by the law and take away your cloak, means take away your coat, give him thy cloak also. So if he's suing you and he wants your coat, why would you give him your cloak also? Like you like, oh, he took your coat. Now you're like, well, here, have this too. That's because he was going through a problem, man. Obviously, it was something that he was going through, and maybe he needed that. Maybe your homie came and stole your money or stole your shoes. You understand? Don't look at him like, oh man, F you, woo, 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 I don't like you. When I see you, I'm gonna get you. You know what I mean? See why he did it, man. That's what it means, turn the other cheek. You know what I mean? Don't be looking at your side that was offended that make you think, okay, well, F him, I'm gonna hurt him. Try to turn to the other side and see why he did it. Why you steal from me, bro? Like, if you would have asked me, I would have gave it to you. You know what I mean? You ain't got to steal. Why you steal? Bruh, my rent was due. My little girl, she needed some da-da-da-da. She in the hospital. You know what I mean? Maybe something was actually going. I ain't got no shoes, man. Like, I'm trying to get it. You know what I mean? Maybe something was going wrong, and he didn't have enough courage to ask you, so he just thought that he could steal it. See what's going on with your brother, man. You understand? That goes. This is for people that's in the truth. That's not in the truth. This is for people that's in the world. I mean, they might do something to you. Go ahead. You. Well, yeah, you give them a chance, but you don't give them a chance. Like, okay, like I said, that's why I was waiting to
to like if they stole money from you. Like you know what I mean? You don't look at them in the wrong aspect of like, oh, they dirty, this, that, and the third. But you try to see why he did it. That don't mean, you know what I mean? So when you say give another chance, I don't want you to think, you know what I mean, leave your wallet out or, you know what I mean? No, you did it, but I think no, because he'll probably do it. He might do it again. So don't just leave your wallet out so he can just, you know what I mean? Just thinking, oh, you know what I mean? If he's dealing with something, you got to go about it in a certain way. But it's rather you go about it in that certain way than trying to hate him for it or trying to get payback on him for it. It's like it's really saying forgive him. But when you forgiving somebody, go ahead.
Okay, I'm trying to understand what you're talking about. What you're saying is, if someone stole something from you, and because of his need for it, you confront him. Find out why he did it.
Right.
And in turn, you turn the cheek as far as not judging him, but knowing what he's about. So the next time, if you need something, you turn your cheek to make sure, okay, I knew what he did last time. I'm not going to forget that. So I'm not going to leave anything out, or I'm not going to leave no money hanging around. Is that what you're trying to say?
Exactly. That's exactly what it is, man. You understand? It's like, because like I said, if he hits you on this cheek, like somebody said online, no, he said, no, you turn the other so he won't do it again. You turn the other way don't mean he won't do it again. That's not what it's talking about. You understand? He stole your money. You go ahead.
It just means that you give him a chance to not do it again.
Right. You know what I'm saying? You give him a chance to not do it again, but you don't tempt him. If you know what he about, then you know what he about. So if you know what he about, then you treat him accordingly. That don't mean treat him bad, but like I said, if you got some money, he stole your money because you left $100 on your table. He came and stole it. That don't mean you leave money on your table again. You know what he about. But maybe you want to ask him, hey, bro, like, what's going on? You doing good? You doing wild? You know what I'm saying? Rather than, oh, that nigga stole money from me. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. I don't like that nigga no more. You know what I'm saying? That's how we normally think. When somebody do something to you, you normally got the mindset of, I don't like that nigga. I'm gonna pay him back, and you know what I mean? This, that, and the third. You're not supposed to have. What it's saying is, don't have that mindset. Think about what you do before you do it. Don't have that mindset. Don't stoop to his level. You know what I mean? That don't mean leave yourself open to get hit again, but see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Shalom, Lord Christ. Somebody probably just lost the call. Who's that jumping in? All right, no sweat. You know what I'm saying? But Jimmy, I see you on there. You probably against me. You probably don't like I.S.U.P.K. I don't know if I'm speaking wrong, then Salaki, I apologize. You understand? But you say no, that means so he don't do it again. That's not what it's talking about because that's not showing brotherhood. Because if you're doing something so you won't do it again, then you probably won't even associate yourself with that brother no more. Because that's the way you make sure he don't do it again. You understand? So that's actually not what it's talking about. It's talking about being mindful of what he did, but don't hold it against him. You understand? Because, like I said, he sued you for your cloak, but your coat, but you gave him your cloak also. That means that he was needing something. You understand? You're not turning your cheek. This ain't no buster punk. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? This ain't no punk. So we're not cowards in the I.S.U.P.K. So it's not like, oh, we turn our cheek so he can punch us in the other cheek. No. You turn your cheek because you don't want to turn to him the one that was offended, because if you go off of how you was offended, then you're going to treat him negatively. But you don't want to treat him negatively. You know what I mean? You want to treat him with respect, but don't allow him to do it. That's not mean, oh, just let me do it, let him do it again. That's why I use the money semblance, because you don't leave money around. You understand? See what's going on. See if he's a wild. That's why we ask, are you a wild? You know what I mean? See what's going on with the brother. Try to help him. You understand? Some people ask you for money, but then they'll take your money and they'll go smoke weed. They'll buy some weed with it. So if you know he smoke weed, why would you lend him money? Now, instead of looking at him as, oh, you a drug addict, man, you just smoke weed, whoop. You know what I'm saying? Try to help him. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's saying right there. But we're going to get one more verses, 9, 10. We're going to get one more verse.
We're going to get one more verse. We're going to get one more verse, and we're going to go ahead and close out the class. Give me 1 Timothy 3 and 7. Give me 1 Timothy 3, verse 7. This is why you want to be brotherly to the people that's out in the world, man. You're not supposed to just, you know what I mean? Like, there's a different type of brothership when you come to, you know, brotherhood and sisterhood. I'll keep saying this. When you hear brotherhood, it does include sisterhood. It's not saying, oh, this is only about brothers. This is only about men. No, in brotherhood is sisterhood. You know what I'm saying? It's like people. It's like when you look into society, and they'll be like, okay, well, man lives on earth. So only men live on earth? Like if somebody was like men live on earth, well only men live on earth? No, women will be included in men too. You know what I mean? Man, woman. They will build you will be talking about life, you'll be talking about people. When you say brotherhood, it's sisterhood included in that too. You know what I mean? But give me 1 Timothy 3 and 7. We're gonna read this and we're gonna close it out. Anybody know what that means? You must have a good report with them that are without, unless you fall into a reproach or a snare of the devil. Anybody know what that's talking about? Now, we're talking about why we must have show brother. Oh, real quick. We're talking about why we must have brotherhood with people that's not even just in the truth, but people that's out the truth. Your brothers and sisters, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that's out the truth as well. Go ahead. Right, and that's right, and that's an example. You know what I mean? That's an example. I want to know what it's talking about. That is an example, so you're right. But I want to know what it's talking about. Like it says, like okay, think about it like more of have a good report of them that are without. Who is them that was without? And then why do we need to do this? You know what I mean? Like what does it mean to fall into the reproach and the snares of the devil? Like why do we need to do this? You know what I mean? Like more of a detail, but that's like an example. So that is correct. Nobody want to take a shot. Come on, somebody take a shot. Somebody who ain't say nothing all the time, the whole time. Somebody new. I want to see somebody new try to take a shot. There ain't no wrong answers. Nobody? Solid. What it's saying is have a good report of them without. Those that are without is the ones that don't have the truth. You understand? Just like he said, the one when we go out there on camp, the ones that we teach to, they don't have the truth at that point. So they're the ones that's not without. You know what I mean? Those are the ones that are without. Salakia. You understand? And so you want to have a good report of them. You want to treat them well. You don't want to try to, you know what I mean, condemn them. You want to tell them what they're doing is wrong, but you don't want to try to show that you hate them. Like, you know what I mean? You don't want to say F them and, you know what I mean, like you hate them or you don't care about them because you do care about them. That's what you're out there for, to save them, to help them. You understand? So those that are without, you want to be good with them. And that's why I say, unless you fall into the snares of the devil, meaning you can have a not good report with them that are without, and they'll come in, they'll kill you. I mean, that's really what it's saying. Unless you fall into the reproach, meaning that you out there talking so much crap on them, and you ain't got a good report with them that they like, you know what I mean, F them I.S.U.P.K dudes, we gonna kill them. You know what I mean? And that's where you fall into the snares of the devil. You know what I mean? You end up getting harmed with people out there because, you know what I mean, you thinking that, you know what I mean, you just so great. And, you know what I mean? That's why you have some camps get rolled up on and punched. Now, I'm not saying people ain't gonna come and try to mock you and heckle you and, you know what I mean, be a scoffer. That's gonna happen. You know what I mean? Because some people just don't want to hear the truth, period. But when you out there just, you know what I mean, thinking that you're going to do what you want to do and you don't care for the people, you know what I mean, then them other people could seriously harm you, man. You know what I mean? The Most High ain't with that. So since the Most High not with that, not protecting you, you can seriously get harmed. You know what I mean? Something can happen to you, you ain't going home that day. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you got to have a good rapport with the people. And also you need to have a good rapport because how is they going to join the group if you don't have a good rapport? How are they going to get into the school and help build the nation up if you don't have a good rapport with them? So like you being brotherly to everybody in I.S.U.P.K, but then when they come out to the world, you come to a homeless person or somebody on the street, you're like, man, get away from me, nigga. You know what I mean? Like you treat them like they just some filthy animal. Why would they want to join your school if they see how you treat people that's not in your school? You know what I mean? Like when we do food drives, we don't say only I.S.U.P.K can get food. We give everybody food. You know what I'm saying? We give all the people the food. You know what I mean? We don't do things specifically for our school. We do, even when we do cookouts, you know what I mean, feast days, we tell you to invite everybody. That's a black, Hispanic, and Native American. Invite them so they can see brotherhood and sisterhood. You know what I mean? We not against our people. You know what I'm saying? Because how they gonna join if we don't show them brotherhood and sisterhood? If we don't show them that we actually love them, why would they want to join? Unless they want to just be, you know what I mean, the same way, they want to be evil. You know what I mean?
So that's why you need to have a good report.
Read verse 8. Right, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So the priests, they shouldn't be, you know what I mean, deacons, the priests, they shouldn't be, they should be grave, and you know what grave means? Grave just means serious. So they should be serious about their father's business. There ain't no games. They serious about the work of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? They should be serious, not double-minded. I mean, we not all teaching different stuff. You know what I mean? We all the same mind, not double-minded, not two-minded. You know what I mean? Nobody teaching something different than the next person. We all teaching the same thing. Or you're not teaching something and then you're not doing what you're teaching. You a hypocrite. You're not double-minded. You understand? And it says, not giving too much wine, like, you know what I mean, you're not getting drunk, because when you get drunk, then that's when you start talking out your ass, and you know what I mean, you can't control yourself, Salakia. You know what I mean? And not giving to filthy lucre. Lucre would be money, man. Not doing this for money, not trying to benefit off the people, not trying to get tired just to, you know what I mean, so you can have money, like some of these other groups do. That's why they let in heathens in their nation, because they just want money. You're not supposed to be given to filthy lucre, man. You know what I mean? You want to have a good rapport with the people because it's easier for other people to come to the truth. You know what I mean? Y'all in this class, the reason why y'all came to class, y'all in the class trying to be in the school is because we have a good rapport. Because you understand them, these brothers really be about that brotherhood. These brothers really be serious. These brothers ain't on the corner looking sweet, you know what I mean, hating their people. They look warrior like, you know what I mean, they warriors. And not only are they warriors, they showing that they really love their people, man. They really help their people out. They really have programs to help their people. And they for pushing their people and not nobody else. You know what I'm saying? When you see these other groups, oh yeah, you can have these Hamites and white people in the group. It make you think, well, you really don't care about your people that much. When you see a group that's like, we don't want no heathens in our group, that show you, damn, they really only care about blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. They could give a damn less about any other nation. And that's how we are. You know what I'm saying? So with that, you know what I mean? Actually, I'm going to get one more verse. Salaki, I'm going to get one. It's real quick. You know what I mean? It kind of just tops the class off. So I'm going to get one last verse, which is John 13 and 35. Salaki, it just tops the whole class off. Give me John 13 and 35.
Hold on real quick. I see a question. Hold on real quick. He said, because if they are stranding the fence and they see you do something questionable, it might.
Right, exactly, Jimmy. That's exactly correct. You know what I mean? They strand the fence. They want to get into the truth, but then they see you do something disgusting, something questionable, like you said. Exactly. It'll make them stray farther. You understand? Like they like, okay, this Hebrew Israelite, this stuff, yeah, it sounds right. Like we the ones in the Bible, they do all this stuff. I'm in this condition. Why am I in this condition? They want to get into the truth, but then now they come into the truth, and then they see you loitering money, man. You fighting over money. You you talking bad on brothers just cause, you know what I mean, you being prideful, it's gonna make them wanna stray away from the truth. They not gonna want, they'll be like, nah, that's not, you know what I mean? It's gonna be something in their spirit that shows that it's off. You know what I mean? That's why you don't want to do that. Cause you don't want to be the reason why people don't come into the truth. You know what I mean? That's exactly correct, Jimmy. That's exactly correct, man. Exactly. But read that verse for me.
John chapter 13, verse 35. By this shall all be know that ye are my disciples, if you have love one to another.
Right, and that's why I say this tops off the whole class, because this is how we gonna know that we follow Christ. If we love one another. You out there, you saying who gives a damn about Trayvon Martin? Y'all, he got what he got. The white man told him to stop. He should have stopped. First of all, he wasn't a cop. So you saying any white man can tell you to stop, you supposed to just, you white, okay. Nah, that's not how it works, man. You know what I'm saying? But you out there saying stuff like that. You saying that you are turning a brother, oh, he got a this and that and third. Instead of helping him, you going to turn him in. Instead of turning him into a righteous man, you going to turn him in. You going to snitch on him, turn him in. Yeah, I can help my people with that. You know what I mean? You saying all this disgusting, vile stuff, you know what I mean, letting other nations in your group. You ain't got love for one another, man. You know what I'm saying? And by now I know you're not the Most High disciples, because who did the Most High roll with? You saying you want to let heathens in your nation, but who did the Most High? Did he not the Most High? Did Christ let heathens in his disciples groups? Out of all the disciples that was with Christ, were they heathens? None of them was heathens, man. They all was the children of Israel. So how are you gonna go against Christ and let heathens in your group, but Christ didn't let them in his? You know what I mean? That's what it's saying. You should know that you are his disciples because you do exactly what Christ do. You know what I'm saying? This is how you know that we follow Christ. You understand? Because we have one love for another. That's why we have a Tuesday Brotherhood class every Tuesday, all around all the schools that we have, because we perfect, we master brotherhood, man. It's something that we need to have. Without brotherhood, you can't have anything, man. You know what I'm saying? No one can just do it by themselves. They need their brothers. We need our people. You understand? That's why brotherhood is so important, because this is how you eat. Brotherhood will be the reason why you know Christ. You are Christ's disciple. Not by you following the laws and statutes, commandments on your own. You know what I mean? And somewhere in your own house doing them. You know what I mean? Not by you, you know what I mean, doing any of one of the laws. But you just showing your brotherhood. Now, yes, you do got to keep the laws, but you would know you're a disciple by loving one another. Because when you love one another, guess what you'll do? You would keep all the laws. And you would do more. You know what I mean? So, with that, I'm going to go ahead and stop the online video. Shalom Yahbashim Yahshua Brakatah to all the brothers. Shalom Shema Latah Bashim Yahshua to all the sisters. Go ahead and stop.